Good.
Good. Just some housekeeping stuff first, just in terms of the injuries. Jack Conan and Ryan Baird, fairly minor, are they? And is there any update? Is James Ryan's looking more long term?
Yeah, all I can say on that is they're not available for this weekend. So obviously, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not sure what the time frame is on James Ryan. I'm not sure what the time frame is on Ryan Baird. It might be a week or two. And then who was the other one?
Jack Conan?
Jack Conan. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's also. I don't think he will be available this weekend. No. Yeah,
All threes. Okay,
yeah, all
all three.
three.
Just in terms of the last the game of the weekend, and obviously the one before with the holding the team scoreless, are you the happiest man in the Leinster camp that your defensive work has all come good?
No, I think the players are happy. No, no, Claire. I think the key thing for us is just like kind of to move on as quickly as possible. I mean, it's not something that you go for. You obviously try and win games, and sometimes it pan out like that. But for us, it's we've got a big interprovincial derby. We spoke about it this morning. I mean. You just have to stay in the now, and the now means, listen, we are playing Ulster, which will be a tough game, and because there's also always a little bit of spice when it comes to the interpros. And yes, what's in the past is in the past, and it's there was some good things, and there was also some things that we could do better, and I'm talking defensively. There was some really good things, but there was also things that we haven't done great, that we have to improve if we want to go deep in both competitions. So yeah, just move on. But happy for the players, definitely, myself, because I can see that. I guess that's something that you guys don't necessarily always see or aren't privy to. So, but you can see the effort that the players put in during the weeks building up to it, and how hard they work. So I think it's kind of rewarding for them. And I'm not just talking defense, I'm talking on the attack side as well. There's been a lot of effort and sacrifice that went into that. And it was nice to see both sides of the ball, attack and defense, that they got reward for it, So yeah, happy.
Is it worrying though in terms of for you guys in not being tested in these games in such big easy victories, and then more generally like for the competition, obviously for neutrals, to see something so one-sided?
Yeah, I guess it's a tough one to answer, because I mean, what is the reality? Reality is we play the opponent that's in front of us. So can you change it? Can we change and say, no, hang on, we don't want to play against Harlequins, or no, we don't want to play against Glasgow? We can't. It is what it is. It's our next opponent, and we can't. I always feel that to worry about things or to say we're not getting tested or getting tested. I mean, for me personally, to make a comment like that, it's not going to help, is it? Because it is what it is. We just have to deal with it. And so that's our mindset. Listen, we deal with it as best we can. And Glasgow and Harlequins are formidable opponents, So we really gave them a lot of respect, as we will give a lot of respect to Ulster, because they're quality sides, and if you get it wrong against them, they can put you away, like they've shown in the competitions that they're playing in. If you look at Glasgow and their performances during the season in the URC, they're second on the log. If you get it slightly off, they can put you away. So yeah, for us, it's just you play whoever's the next one to stay in the moment, and the moment is Ulster this weekend. So yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Claire.
Does anyone else want to jump in there?
Hey, Jack, yeah, it's Richie here from Off the Ball. You well?
Good in you?
Not too bad, thanks. What pleased you most about Saturday? Or about Friday,
Probably the joy of the players, the joy of their faces, and the amount of in both games. I think the thing that pleased me the most is the 80,000 people that came to support us. Our supporters have been incredible. over the season. And that's really inspiring and lovely to see. And then probably the players enjoying themselves on the pitch, having smiles on their faces, having a good crack at it, and that was very pleasing.
I know you mentioned there that you can't necessarily control whether it's going to be a scoreless game from the opposition, but does there come a point within the game where you kind of think, all right, this is on, and we want to protect this clean sheet as best we can?
Yeah, sorry, you broke up there a little bit. So there is certain times in a game where...
Yeah, it's like, do you get to a certain point within a game where the opposition is being held scoreless, where you think, yeah, actually, we do want to keep this as a clean sheet?
No, not really. To be honest, no. I'll be very honest with you. Up to about minute, obviously, I don't. Me personally, sometimes I have to look at what the score is, because I don't know what the score is, because you are moment to moment. Yes, next line out. Okay, did we execute our play tactically? What are they trying to do? So you're so invested in the running of the game that I don't actually know what the score is. I don't know if we scored 4 tries or 5 tries. I know in knockouts it's not important, but I don't know what the score is, and it sounds weird, but I mean, you literally think your next challenge. Well, me personally. So I didn't. Obviously, I couldn't remember, and it's going to sound funny to people, but I couldn't remember if they had a kick at goal, if they didn't have a kick at goal, if they missed a kick at goal. I didn't know. And then obviously at 60 or 70 minutes, when you try and think, listen, can we put our bench on? Can you empty the bench? And then you kind of have a look at it and say, okay, what's the scoreboard looking like? Is it worthwhile taking that risk? And then you only then I kind of say, oh, I didn't realize that was a score. Yeah. But no, in no way in a game, me personally, and I don't even think the players, they realize that, listen, we can keep them scoreless. It's not something that you go for. You just try and defend the next play. Yeah.
And in terms of the next play, obviously it's Ulster this weekend for yourselves. And what do you have in mind for them, and what do you think that they do well that can cause you problems?
Yes, now Ulster is how can I say, a different kettle of fish. It's if you think since I've been at Leinster, last year in the 2 round robin games, we lost both games comfortably against Ulster, and then we met them in the quarterfinal where things went our way. And then this year we got a victory over there. I think it was it was in the first 6 games of the season. But even that game against Ulster, the scoreline was 27-7. So it was 27-20. So it was a 1-score game. So it's always tight. That's how I experienced playing against Ulster or any derby game. You know, even Connacht. Both games against Connacht was tight. Munster's games were tight. So it's that, and that's the thing. It's interprovincial. You know, and there's a lot of pride and a lot of. There's a lot of at stake for the players, you know. A lot of that's what I expect. I expect it to be a very hard physical battle. The 2 teams know each other quite well. They know their strengths and weaknesses. So there's going to be. Yeah, that's what I expect. I expect it to be tight, very tight.
One last one from me, just on a piece of injury news. Kieran Frawley hasn't featured for the last couple of weeks. I was just wondering what his status was and when we can expect him back possibly. Froles wasn't injured, so Froles were eligible for selection. So as I understand it, yeah. All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Jacques. Okay.
Grant, is there any more questions there for Jacques?
I just asked a quick one. Just from a defensive perspective, how pleasing was Jordy Barrett's performance on Friday?
Yeah, Geordie and a couple. I mean, obviously Geordie stand out because of he had quite a good night at the breakdown. So he got a couple of breakdown turnovers, and not just that. I mean, his individual defense was good. He's yeah, he defensively and attackingly he had a good game, and that's why he won Player of the Match. But yeah, I was quite pleased with a lot of the players. I thought Gary had an excellent game in what was required from him, both from a leading point of view, and I'm talking defensively more, and also what the things that we expected him to do. So he was good, and everybody had a good game. I think. From a defensive point of view, there was patches. I think we didn't start well fundamentally, and it's something that we spoke about today. So, like I said, there was a lot of good stuff defensively, but there was also a lot of stuff that we could have done better, and that if we want to go deep into these two competitions, and if we want to get a result on Saturday against Ulster, there's definitely some stuff that we will have to fix. Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Pleasure. Grant, anyone else there? No? Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.